This episode is proudly sponsored by The Helix, a new innovation district located in New Brunswick, New Jersey, the heart of the Northeast Corridor. The Helix provides a critical ecosystem for innovation by offering a range of physical environments, a vibrant community of leading innovators, and a strategic central location on the Northeast Corridor. The Helix will uniquely mix workspaces, classrooms, laboratories, venues, and collaborative environments, creating a dynamic community and setting for innovative minds. Universities, startups, Fortune 500 companies, entrepreneurs, researchers, and many others will all call the Helix home. Thus far, the Helix has assembled a community of innovative private and public organizations, such as Rutgers Health, the New Jersey Innovation Hub, RWJ Barnabas Health, Hackensack Meridian Health, universities from Ireland and Israel, and others. The Helix is where ideas will come to life. To learn more, visit helixnj.com.
NFL Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube and YouTube TV, which means that you can stay close to your team even if you don't live in their town. Like, maybe you're a Raven who married a Seahawk who got a job in the land of the Falcons. With NFL Sunday Ticket, you can watch your team's out-of-market Sunday afternoon games no matter where you live, because you shouldn't have to change teams even if you change towns. NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. Go to youtube.com/presale to get $50 off.
Terms and embargoes apply. Offer ends 9/19. No refund. Subscription auto renews.
From NJ.com and the Star Ledger, welcome to the Rutgers Rant, your one-stop podcast for the Scarlet Knights, with your hosts Steve Politi and Rutgers insiders Brian Fonseca and Pat Lenny. Let's start shopping.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the pod, the rant, our pick pod edition. Going to do some picks for the Temple game. We're going to play our favorite new game, the alumni game, Boomer versus Zoomer, where we embarrass ourselves and everybody involved. But first, let's do some updates. Let's do some news from the week. I think, at least for me, the biggest news, the most surprising news was an internet report that Dylan Harper might wait until the spring to make his decision. This is from Trilly Donovan, who I was blissfully unaware of until this little nugget came out, and then I was shamed. I mean, you don't know who Trilly Donovan is. So like people were like, "Well, he doesn't exist." I mean, what are you yelling at me for this? People were outraged. I didn't know who Trilly Donovan was. I didn't know who Trilly Donovan was, but apparently he's a major newsbreaker who thinks Dylan Harper is going to make his announcement in the spring. Brian, I mean,
Boomer versus Zoomer.
Boomer alert. Gosh, yeah, totally. No, okay, I'll own that totally. If I should have known who Trudy Johansson was, or whatever his name is. All right. So Brian, give me the update here. What do you think about that nugget?
So you clearly don't read The Athletic, because Trilly Donovan had a profile in The Athletic.
Well, I read The Athletic, but there's a lot of content on it. It's a big website. I must have missed that one.
Well, you must have missed that one, and you must have missed Trilly Donovan breaking every college basketball nugget news.
Yes, the Texas Tech coach. Is that who that's the big story he broke? Sorry. I missed that as well.
That was months ago, but every transfer that happened in the offseason 2 days earlier, if you follow Trilly Donovan.
I was on vacation. I've got stuff to do here. Come on.
Of course.
Trilly
Donovan. You don't have time to be following Trilly Donovan.
Wake up. Use your name if you want to be taking. If you want me to be taking you seriously here as a professional journalist. Anyway.
How are we sure that his name is not Trilly Donovan? How do you know that?
Because I went back and read the Athletic story, Brian, like you told me to. Now I know it's not Trilly Donovan. They're trying to figure out who Trilly Donovan is, because we've just got that much time on our hands here in society that we can play this game.
Right. Personally, I think I like the anonymity of it. I don't like that he's able to use that to beat everyone to news, but I think the gimmick is kind of cool. And one day I will introduce you to the underworld of college basketball reporting, where there are a bunch of Trilly Donovans and the like. Anyway, so Trilly Donovan has a report on Dylan Harper about his recruitment, throws one of my tweets with the great photo from Andy Mills in there. So I appreciate you, Trilly, for shouting me out. And essentially, his point was that everyone got fired up that Dylan Harper was at Rutgers, which we talked about on the last pod, I'm pretty sure.
We did. Yeah.
And but he kind of pumped the brakes there and said that he believes, per his sources, that Dylan Harper could still take visits to Auburn, which seemed like was way out of his recruitment for a while now, and to Kansas, which was the recent reporting on that. There was some people on the Rutgers message boards. There was a user who Saturday night said Rutgers might have a special guest at the game Sunday. Obviously, he was proven right with Dylan. And then he said sometime earlier this week that Dylan was currently at Auburn, which got people up in a tizzy. I found no evidence of that whatsoever. He was doing some pickups games in New York, and I believe training at Don Bosco with his brother. We're getting into the weeds here of a 16-year-old's recruitment. This is where we are. But the key part that you brought up, that we all expected him to decide before November signing period. It seems like there's a possibility this drags out to the spring. A couple people I talked to yesterday and a couple of days ago don't seem to think that's impossible. They seem to think it's certainly possible. One person, actually a couple people, brought up to me Cliff O'Morey, for example, the biggest recruit that Rutgers has gotten to this point, except maybe for Gavin Griffiths. He committed in February, I think. He really dragged that out as well. So it's not unheard of. It's not unheard of at Rutgers. It would not be good for anyone's health, mentally or physically. Any of us, any of the fan base, anybody. But from what I can gather, it's certainly possible. And I would say, purely off of my own speculation here, the longer this drags out, it's probably not good for Rutgers, especially if you probably thought you could close this out before November. I still think he's going to end up at Rutgers. I still feel pretty good about that. But I don't know about you guys. The longer this drags on, the less solid I feel about it.
Pat, you've covered a lot of recruiting. There's a reason why kids make this decision. It's just because it just becomes a massive distraction for the team they play on, for the family. It's a headache. It's stories like Trudy Johansson. It's just stuff like this that people, right? I mean, this.
Yeah. And it seems like my initial impression of Dylan Harper was that he was not a kid that was caught up in the hype, but that has completely changed in the last couple of months. I think he's eating this up like every other high school celebrity now, but I don't know, man. It's just changed so much. Like recruiting, the game of recruiting reporting has changed so much. Like even when I first got into the business 10 years ago, it was just like, okay, maybe this kid would, okay, yeah, 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Sorry.
It was just simple. A kid made his decision and signed on the paper, and there weren't graphics and cat and mouse games, and now it's just like completely out of control. Everyone's an insider, and I'm just kind of sick of it, to be honest.
If it does, there's two things about this. This is the interesting part about it. It increases the Dylan Harper brand if he's out there and people are talking about it. I don't know if he cares, if he's 16, he cares about this, but he'll be the focus of every recruiting rumor through until he decides. And number two, if he does wait until the spring, I'm finally going to live out my long-awaited dream of opening a drive-through psychiatry practice in Piscataway. I mean, because people are just not going to be able to. They're not going to survive this. I'm just going to open up a shop right there on, by the golf course in Piscataway, where you can just drive in. You can just pay me $100 and I'll give you free therapy right there, because that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, Steve is also the psychologist of the NJ Advanced Media Sports Department as well. So he's good at the job. So
I've got many hats here, many hats, wearer of many hats.
And if he can deal with us, he could deal with anybody. And look, just a quick nugget on Dylan Harper. I think people at Rutgers they themselves aren't really a fan of the circus either. And I think there is some people would like that more attention being brought to those who are in the current class, which, in case people forgot, is ranked number 2 in the country, rather than the one that's still kind of out there and they're trying to get. For us personally, we can't not talk about Dylan Harper, obviously, right? But in the spirit of mentioning the other guys in the class, I was thumbing through Instagram before we got on, and I found something interesting. Ace Bailey posted on his Instagram story 12 hours ago. I did not see it till now somehow. A photo of him at the gym wearing Rutgers branded sweatpants, and the caption is "Love this S with all my heart." So at least and this has been the case for months now since he committed in January, it seems like Ace Bailey is all in on Rutgers, which is a great sign for Rutgers, because listen, if you somehow don't get Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey's a pretty good consolation prize too. So I think
of course.
Oh
to calm the panic.
I almost forgot about Ace Bailey.
He's wearing Rutgers sweatpants at a gym. That's hot breaking news. Why did you leave with that?
And he loves it. He
loves this.
He didn't say I want to take these off and decommit. He said he loves them. So I'm just trying to lighten it up, Steve.
Good job. All right. Well played. Okay. Injury news. What do we got? You guys are in practice. You got we get the sense that the Nassim Brantley situation is unresolved or remains unresolved, but We have good news on injuries for this game. Is that correct?
Sounded like Wesley Bailey's injury was going to be resolved and that he might be back for this game. So that's a big boost for the Rutgers defensive line. Coming off the game, it sounded like Shiano was optimistic that the two running backs, could be in the mix again, Samuel Brown and Aaron Young. So, yeah, I think Rutgers is pretty healthy. And like you said, the Nassim Brantley eligibility issue is unresolved, but I heard some rumblings that it might be coming to a head at some point soon.
Okay, well, it has to. I mean,
one
game. Eventually, it's just they have decided by not deciding. Yeah. All right. So with that in mind, could be pretty close to a full team against Temple. What can you tell me about Temple here? I know EJ Warner. I know it was a close game last year. I don't. I mean, it's a program that they've been building. I remember when I got kicked out of the Big East, so I still think of Temple that way. Give me your breakdown. Temple, go.
Not good. Not ideal to need a fourth quarter touchdown to beat Akron. I know they have a good head coach in Joe Moorhead. They do some funky things with their quarterback. I watched some of the highlights, but you probably should beat Akron by more than 3 points at home. One thing, EJ Warner had a solid game. The biggest thing that stood out to me, and I don't know if this changes your guys' opinions, he wears a glove on his throwing hand. What do you guys think about that? What is that? Is that good? Is that bad? I know Teddy Bridgewater wore 2 gloves, and that's a name that makes Rutgers fans shudder. Thoughts on the glove?
I don't know. It's 112 degrees out. I can't imagine wearing a glove in those circumstances, but all right.
I got no opinion. If it helps, no opinion. Good for him.
Did Kurt Warner wear a glove? I don't remember. I doubt it.
You were alive during Kurt Warner's career. I don't know if I was.
Good grief. Good grief. That was good. I give you credit for that one. I really do. That cuts. All right. So the fact he's a good quarterback, I love the fact that they have a quarterback makes everyone just automatically afraid of Temple for that one reason. Doesn't seem like they have much more beyond that. Defense a little bit better than last year. It was bad. I mean, this strikes me as the kind of team that Rutgers should just handle, though.
It does. They should. Rutgers should handle this team. But to me, it's a matchup of contradicting styles, and it comes like Temple can throw the ball all over the place. They're going to try to put up a lot of points, spread the ball around, whereas Rutgers is just going to try to slow it down, control the clock and tempo like we saw last week. Mm-hmm. And to me, the game of football is all about dictating your style. And Rutgers should be the team that puts forth its style of controlling the ball and dominating on defense. But I still think that Temple is going to try to throw the ball all over the place. I mean, Warner had 49 pass attempts.
Was that right? Week. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's make our pick here then. It's 10. Is it still 10 points? Minus 10?
I haven't checked, but I think it got bet down to 9. Let's go with 9.5.
It's down to 9. 9.5. Okay. Temple minus 9.5. I'll go first this week. I went first last week. I'm also 0-1 because I unwisely took the points last week with Northwestern. I just think that if they're not going to, this just strikes me as a game at home, big crowd. Rutgers is better. If you're not going to blow out a team here by a few touchdowns, that you're not going to do it this year. This is the one, I think, other than, of course, Wagner. I think the defense is going to score. The fact that they're throwing the ball around, I think we're going to see that secondary come up with a pick 6. That's my bonus prediction. If you can parlay that someplace in Delaware, take that one. I think it's going to be an easy win. This is going to be a 38-10 kind of game. I know that's a lot of points for Rutgers. I get it, but I think this is going to be one that they kind of establish themselves early, come out, breezy day, get the 2-0, move on to the next one. Brian, yeah. Pat, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I would generally agree with you. I think while listening to Greg Schiano go on his diatribe about how Temple has all these great players, 2 Big Ten level backs, disruptive defensive linemen, and all these great players, he did let slip that Temple has a young offensive line, much like he said. And I think when you have a defensive front like Rutgers does, which terrorized Northwestern and can definitely terrorize Temple, I think that's a recipe for a tough day for the Owls offense. So I'm going to go the same score I went with for the Northwestern game. It did well for me. I'll go 27 Rutgers, 10 Temple.
Okay. Pat?
Okay, I didn't get my shutout last week.
Oh, that's right. We were disappointed.
I didn't get it. Got to bring it up.
Yeah.
So close.
You were close. You were very
away.
close.
19 seconds away.
After Northwestern coach played that like it was his Rose Bowl there. That right there. Those last
Really
19
did.
seconds.
He really did. And Rutgers played it like it's Rose Bowl as well, calling timeouts and stacking the box.
God.
It was an incredible.
I was lied to about the fact that college football games are going to be shorter this year, by the way. We'll talk about that another time. All right, go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, contrasting styles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to disagree with you guys a little bit here. I see Temple as a team that's last year gave Rutgers a little bit of trouble. Warner looked really good against Rutgers last year. I think this is going to be a game that's a little bit closer than you guys expect. I'm going to take Temple with the points.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. I still think Rutgers wins, but I'm going to go with 21-14 Rutgers.
21-14. All right. So chance to shake up the standings again. Very exciting, isn't it? All right. Good job, guys. All right.
The Helix is coming. That's right. Ground is broken, foundations are being laid, and the plans are being realized. For those that have not yet heard, the Helix is a new innovation district in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Smack dab in the middle of the Northeast Corridor, the Helix is a place for innovators to gather and innovation to take action. It offers a range of physical environments, a vibrant innovation community, and a strategic central location in close proximity to New York, Philly, Boston, and D.C. The Helix will uniquely mix workspaces, classrooms, laboratories, venues, and collaborative environments, creating a dynamic community and setting for innovative minds. Universities, startups, Fortune 500 companies, entrepreneurs, researchers, and many others are already signing up to call the Helix home. Thus far, the Helix has assembled a community of innovative private and public organizations such as Rutgers Health, the New Jersey Innovation Hub, RWJ Barnabas Health, Hackensack Meridian Health, universities from Ireland and Israel, and others. The Helix is coming. Visit helixnj.com to learn more.
So let's go to the alumni game. Boomer versus Zoomer. All right. So I don't know if you longtime listeners of the pod might have noticed that last week, Fonseca managed to get some music, background music for when Lanny was talking about the defense. He put in the Darth Vader theme. It's the first time we've successfully done this. I know this seems like 1997 technology, but we managed. It was an incredible moment. And then he says to me, this is a great part. He says to me, "We can do this again. Why don't we play some music?" And I'm hoping the music is playing in the background now. Why don't we play some music for Boomer Zoomer? And I immediately said, that's a great idea. Let's do some game show themes like Card Sharks or Tic-Tac-Toe. So even when I'm just suggesting random things, I am making cultural references to Brian Fonseca that he couldn't possibly know. I love it. So I hope the Card Sharks theme is playing right now, because I know there's no chance in hell that Fonseca put on the television to watch Card Sharks during his life.
I watched a lot of the Game Show Network when I was sick in middle school. I watched a lot of it. I do not think I've ever watched Card Sharks, to be honest with you.
Tic-Tac-Toe?
Not Tic-Tac-Toe. But that's on the Game Show Network, not on you, Steve. I will defend you here.
That's good. All right. So last week you got one of the five. We owned up to the fact that I butchered William Jennings Bryan, and I'm still getting angry emails from historians about that. Scopes trial lawyer Williams Jennings Bryan did not debate Abraham Lincoln. So the Temple situation, and I'm going to put the over under a little lower, Pat. I'm going to put it on like 5.5, because the Temple situation is that there really are not a lot of great alumni from Temple. I think there are a couple of gimmies again, but I thought that last week. So Pat, 5.5. You taking the over or the under?
Like Card Sharks, where you pick higher or lower.
There you go. Yes, you've seen it.
I have seen it.
That's
I'm going to go over. Come on,
Fonzie. You've got faith in him again. I think I'm going to go over too. Yeah,
good, because I've studied every Temple alum from 1776 to 1824. I feel like I have the entire demographic ready. I'm good to go.
All right, number one. I'm not giving you Bill Cosby though. Just not going to do it. No, I'm not giving you Bill Cosby.
I spent 30 minutes studying Bill Cosby.
But number one, you should get number one. Bob Saget.
Comedian and the father in the hit sitcom Full House.
Thank God. All right.
And a
Good
very
job.
vulgar comedian, by the way, too. You should look up his stand-up. It's quite something.
Look at this, just flaunting his knowledge. Thunderous applause. All right, 1 point. All right, number 2. 2 people here. Daryl Hall and John Oates.
It's Hall and Oates, musical duo.
Yes, yes, they went to Temple. Yes, they did. I don't know if they graduated.
Really?
All right,
bonus point if you can name a song.
You can name a song. I don't know. I'm not giving you the point, but you can name a song. Come on.
Okay, this is
disappointing. Come on.
Okay. This is the first song that came to mind. I have no idea if Hall and Oates did this. Please don't laugh at me if I'm very wrong. That song about "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend," is that them?
Oh, another great duo, but incorrect.
He didn't do that, did he?
I swear to God, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's
Simon
Simon
and
and Garfunkel. Yeah.
What's
So
their
even-
most popular song? Hall and Oates.
Man Eater,
Man-Eater.
Isn't that
Out of
Rihanna?
Touch.
You make my dreams come true.
I can't go for that. Private eyes are
Right.
watching you. That's a bunch of them. Yeah, but not. I'm sorry, but not. Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Fonz, that was a gimme. Oh, you got it right though, technically.
He did get it
I just
right.
got the song wrong.
We're gonna roll. Number 3, and this is someone I didn't know because you're trying to tell me, you keep telling me to go younger. Diplo.
Oh, is this the DJ?
Yes,
Diplo.
that's right. Yes.
That was a
Number
gimme.
3.
That should have been number 0. That was easy.
Well,
I'm a
but,
big fan
but
of
again, because I did not know who it was. All right, so you've won it. So these two are bonus. You're over the over. Number 4 is someone I think that everyone should know, but I'm guessing you're not going to know. But here we go. Norman Fell.
What?
Do you know
Norman
Fell?
Fell.
This
You know
is
Norman. Pat, you know Norman Fell is, right?
No, I do not.
Oh my God.
this is a politician.
No.
Who's Norman
Famous character actor, Mr. Roper on Three's Company. If you saw his face, you would know who Norman Fell is. All right, sounds okay. It's a tough one. And finally, number 5. Again, there's not a lot of Temple alumni. Number 5, David Brenner.
That feels like a name I should know.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Can I get a hint?
Well, you went deep on Bob Saget. You might be able to go deep on David Brenner if you can get Bob Saget.
Was he the guy on Full House? Joey on Full House?
No, I'm sorry, incorrect. He was also another comedian of his generation of the 80s and 90s. So that's tough, but still, I think we've made progress, Pat. Right? It was a good collection.
He won.
He won
over.
He won the
Yeah.
over.
Diplo was.
Did you know Diplo? No.
I know the name.
No.
I think I would have said rapper, but yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. DJ, he said it correctly.
Yeah,
That's
he
good
got
job
it.
by him.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Does Temple have a clown college or something pumping out all these comedians?
I don't know. That could have. The other one was, I guess, Ted Bundy spent like a semester.
Oh, that's a good one.
Spent a
That's a good
semester at Temple. I almost put him in there, but I wanted to get someone a little bit more, spend a little more time there than not a lot of good alumni. Temple's got to work on this. Not a lot of good alumni in Temple. All right,
Just
great
wait till
job.
Wagner. Well, no, we got to reverse it on you, Steve. This is a surprise. I don't know if you were ready for this one.
Really?
So this is the Zoomer part of the Boomer Zoomer segment.
Oh,
Pat had a great
Okay.
idea. We were at practice and we talked to the Daily Targum's Josh Myers and asked them, what are the kids saying these days? What are some of the slang words that are being thrown around? And we figured it'd be fun if we threw one of them at you just to kind of see, is Steve
Okay.
up with the lingo?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's good. I like that.
So we want you to use the word in a sentence if you know it.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. Prepared.
All right. I have an easy one, I think, and a somewhat not easy one. Which one would you want?
Okay.
What do you?
The
what do
easy
you-
one. I would like the easy one.
I'm sure you've heard this one before, but cap. When something is called cap, when someone calls cap on something.
Something called cap on something. Okay. CAP. Can I use it?
C-A-P.
Can I get the etymology? It's like a spelling bee. Can I use it? Can I get the definition, please? Okay, cap.
No cap. That's been said a lot. No cap.
No cap. Oh, this is when someone doesn't have game. They don't have cap. I got no cap. Right?
Close.
No.
That would have been good for the other one.
No.
Cap is when you call cap on something, you're saying someone is lying. Like
okay.
Like when I say I have $1 million in the bank, someone would say that's cap.
So if I said that I'd calling cap on the fact that the kid from the Daily Targum would know lingo, is that a good way of using it? Like I can
I'm trying to think of how to word that, but yes. Well, he does know the lingo clearly.
He's got cap. He doesn't. I'm not calling cap. I'm just saying he's got cap. Is what you're saying. What use that in the sentence? How would you use it in the sentence for me? So I'm prepared next.
So it's just like if someone's lying, you call cap.
You call cap. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you are being serious about something and you want people to know that you're not lying, you end your sentence with no cap.
No cap. No cap.
Steve, I was very hard in the story. No cap.
No. What was the harder one?
Well, it's okay if we want to do both of them. Riz. Do you know what Riz is?
No idea.
Riz. It's short for something of a bigger word.
Risque? No. What is Riz?
It's in the middle of the word.
Oh, it's in the middle of the word?
Yes.
No. Riz. No.
So you mentioned it before. You said cap was having game, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So Riz is the middle of the word charisma.
Oh, okay.
So if you have Riz,
I got mad Riz.
Yes, exactly.
Mad Riz.
You got Riz. You can talk to the ladies.
No cap. He got mad Riz. There you go.
There you go, Steve. That's perfect. That's perfect.
All right.
We're all learning.
Grandpa's going to use that on the kids at the dinner table tonight. We'll see how that goes. Woo.
I love it. All of our listeners will start using it at the tailgates. It's going to be amazing.
I can't wait to see what other fun things Josh from the Daily Targums got to say. He's going to start making these up. You just know it. If he's half as funny as we think he is. All right. Good job. I like that. Come back at me. It's good.
You did a great job. You did better than I did with the alumni game. So
not really. No, I got them both wrong.
No, you got Riz right. You used them both in a sentence very quickly. To your credit,
you're just being nice, which is more than I did when you didn't get things right. All right. Good job. Anything else we got to talk about? Rutgers is in the bowls, according to ESPN and the experts. We're going to the quick lane. We're going to the. That was a fun little nugget. What else we got?
Hey, we predicted that last week too, right? We said quick lane bowl and pinstripe bowl. So
right away, they're jumping in
first there.
We were the first. Yes.
Apparently, Rutgers is contractually obligated to play in those two bowl games. They can't go anywhere else.
Right.
So I don't think we're going to the Bahamas.
I did take a look at this week's games. My God, the Big Ten, you got to have some better games on the schedule. Temple Rutgers is one of the better games. Come on. You got Delaware, Penn State. UNLV, Michigan, Richmond, Michigan State, UTEP, Northwestern. Come on. This is Charlotte, Maryland. This is the best one is Nebraska, Colorado. Obviously, that'll be a good one it could have been anybody at Colorado after last week, and it would be a good game. But slim pickings out there. So Rutgers could be 2-0 in the Big Ten standings at the end of the week.
Hammer UTEP money line. They're going to destroy Northwestern. Hammer that. I'm not a gambling expert. It's UTEP, I think, plus 1.5. But
really? That's it?
Yes.
Wow.
I would still dump my life savings into that bet.
It's a Northwestern bet. That's
totally. It's never been more obvious than that.
Hey, I had Colorado. I took Colorado week 1.
Successfully convert the fourth down fake punt this week.
If I hadn't deleted the DraftKings app many moons ago, I would be on there right now. Okay.
Hey, to Brian's credit, he did believe in Coach Prime. He did take the Buffs money line.
I took it plus 700. Let's go.
Really?
I was in AC. I took Buffs money line, $15 plus 700, made about $150. Then I blew all of it. So, and one last thing, Rutgers was the 10th most watched. Well, after the Clemson Duke game came out, the 11th most watched game in college football last weekend. That shows, I think, more the power of CBS and being a standalone game, I guess. But when you're on CBS, you get a lot more viewers than the Big Ten Network, which Rutgers played Maryland on the Big Ten Network in their last game to end the last season. They got 97,000 viewers. 97,000. And
97,000?
On Sunday, they got 2.68 million. So
wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. does show the power of broadcast TV. And that couldn't have been, I mean, looking back on it, that couldn't have been a better infomercial for Rutgers, having McCourty's there, winning the game. I mean, the kid with the mustache, everything came up Rutgers there. It was just certainly a good thing. And this will be good too. I mean, prime time, I get not the same audience, a lot of other games going on, but get to 2-0 and people will be talking about you. So those are the stakes. We'll be back on Monday to talk about it. Rutgers-Temple. See you there at the stadium. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to the Rutgers Rant. To participate in the conversation and receive live updates about the Scarlet Knights directly to your phone, sign up at NJ.com/insider.